Welcome to Recipes for Grief, heartfelt storytelling for feely foodies. I'm your host, Andrea Sexton Dumas.
Today's episode is a really tender conversation with my friend and artist, Nancey B. Price. We talk about a lot of different things: her relationship with the land, the smell of peanut dust, mothering the mothers and honoring the fathers. Of course, we talk about her art and her writing. We also talk about girdles and wigs. And she shares intimate feelings about losing grandparents and helping caretake Grandma Essie, her grandmother. It's important to note that this episode was recorded back in March. And since that time, Grandma Essie has passed on. Let's all take a moment of silence to honor Grandma Essie's life and her journey home. And we hold Nancey in care as witnesses to her story. We really had a good time recording and a griefful time as well, of course. But I just want to say that this conversation, it's not like quote unquote content. This is not just a podcast. This is sacred, sitting around the fire, tea in hand, mosquitoes at your ankles, dog by your side, soulful sharing. Nancey shares her heart so generously. You, dear listener, are tasked with nothing less than divine listening. Nothing less. What a gift. Of course, all the links to connect with Nancey are in the episode page of your podcast player. I especially recommend you listening to her short stories, The Seedling and the Groundling. Nancey B. Price is a Black queer collage artist, writer, and storyteller from rural Georgia with an appreciation for all things Black, Southern, and imaginative. In her creative pursuits, she seeks to build worlds in which Black people can exist freely in all their beauty and complexity. As a visual artist, she's exhibited her artwork across the country and has been featured in various publications, including Oh, the Oprah magazine, Garden and Gun magazine, and Black Collages, the book. In her stories of fiction, Nancey invokes magical realism and Southern Gothic storytelling to build worlds and weave together lives inspired by the folklore and oral histories of her hometown, Girard, Georgia. Furthermore, she has shared stories on Hoodoo Plant Mamas and You Had Me at Black. And as the executive producer and host of the podcast, Dreaming in Color with Nancey B. Price, she highlights the importance of dream telling in the Black community by creating safe space for each of her guests to share a dream story and deconstruct its meaning in their waking lives.
Nancey, thank you so much for being here on Recipes for Grief.
Thanks for having me, Andrea. I'm so excited to finally
Oh
be
my
on the
gosh.
show.
Over the moon, over the moon. So I'm going to start by asking you the question we ask everybody. How have you been sleeping recently?
You know, I knew you was going to ask me this question, and I could have prepared an answer. I had all day to prepare, but I'm dumbfounded still. I'm not sure because sometimes I will sleep good through the night. Lately, I've been taking a little melatonin gummy, the little Z-Quil triple strength.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I necessarily have to lately because usually if I'm experiencing insomnia, I'm under a lot of stress or anxiety or experiencing depression or something like that. But for some reason, I feel the need to just take it just in case I'm up and I want to sleep. Because I'm afraid that if I don't take it, that's gonna be the night where I wake up at 3 a.m.
Yep.
And it's like my dog, she can tell when my eyes open because she'll come in and be like, "Oh, hey girl, you up?" Come take me outside. So I guess if I could describe how I've been sleeping lately, it's been restful, but I've needed assistance with it
Mm-hmm.
out of
Mm-hmm.
fear of not being able to do it on my own.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. This is my first
Um,
time saying it out loud.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna ask you a follow-up question to that. Of course, your podcast, the Dreaming in Color podcast with Nancey B. Price,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think of you as like the dream lady in my head. Like, how have you been dreaming recently, or have you been dreaming recently?
I just started back dreaming. It's funny. Everything. It seems like everything is funny, but it's interesting because usually at the end of every season of the show, I've done 2 seasons right now, and I'm working on season 3. At the end of every season, I am so fucking tired of dreaming and
Mm,
like talking about dreams and dreaming and everything. And so it's like I stop. And it's not like I'm
mm.
like, oh, I'm tired. But it's just like I feel like I just get inundated with dream speak
Yeah.
that once the season's over, it's like subconsciously I can't dream no more, at least
Wow.
for a while, for a couple
Mm-hmm.
months. But occasionally I'll dream about something. And lately the dreams have started to come back now, which I
Okay.
kind of missed them. I ain't gonna hold
Aw.
you. Like I miss dreaming. I miss having those dreams that have storylines.
Yeah.
Um, I miss having those dreams where I can wake up and remember what happened. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'll dream, you know how you dream so much is happening in the dream and it changes scenes and everything. And you wake
Mm-hmm.
up and you're just like, I don't know what I dreamed about, but I know I dreamed.
And I'm tired.
And I'm tired. Yeah, I wish I remembered because I had a dream recently that which I'm not sure if I want to share this on this show because it's gonna be one of the episodes.
Okay, then stay tuned.
So
Stay
stay
tuned.
tuned.
That's right. Then we'll see what
But
Nancey's dreaming about these days.
yeah, it's I forgot how much I missed dreaming and missed my
Mm.
relationship with dreaming until
Mm-hmm.
I started dreaming again.
Mm.
And yeah, I am the dream lady, right?
That's
Like now I
right.
got a podcast about dreaming, and then my ass over here not dreaming, which it's it's adding anxiety because I should be dreaming, but I'm not. So what does that mean? Do I need to?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's okay too, though. It's like,
it
maybe
is.
you're at capacity. You did just come off of an exhibition. So
I
are
did.
you still restoring from that? Can you tell us a little bit about your exhibition?
So yes, I just took down my second solo exhibition. It was called Black in Bloom,
Mm,
and I had it at the Everett Center for the Arts. It was up for 2 months at the
mm,
Everett Center in Statesboro, Georgia, where I live, and it was a really beautiful experience. It was a meditation on my like 7 year journey as a collage artist and as
mm-hmm,
like a creative overall. And it explored the use of like flowers specifically, but like flowers and other vegetation in my work and what sort of like symbolism sort of comes up in the collages that I make. And so I remember during my artist talk, I was mentioning how my very first collage that I ever made was titled Blooming Grief.
mm,
And I made that collage as a way to try to like use flowers to soften the grief of a Black woman whose son was lost in the Vietnam War,
mm,
which I find very interesting that like the start of my creative journey or my creative journey as an adult, it began with grief
right.
and sadness and me trying to soften this sadness that I couldn't really put my finger on just yet. I mean, I
Mm-hmm,
recognize this lady's sadness, but the fact that I chose her sadness to be
mm-hmm,
the jumping point for my creative career now I think is very interesting. And that's something I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really realize until I put the show together.
Yeah, that it really is interesting when you posted your artist talk in your stories. So you and I have known each other almost a year now,
Mm-hmm.
introduced by Julia Mallory, the incomparable, on
Amazing.
right, who is also going to be in season 3 of the Dreaming in Color podcast.
Right.
And you said that, and I was like, how have we not talked about this? I had no idea that grief was your origin story.
Right. And is grief is something that I am like incredibly familiar with
Mm-hmm.
and have no problem laying with it
Mm.
and letting it sit in my lap and letting it drive my car sometimes.
Mm.
And for the astrology girls, I'm a Scorpio. I'm a
Hey.
Scorpio sun and Scorpio moon
Yes, she is.
and Scorpio Pluto. And I think my Mercury is in that hole too. Like
Ooh,
it's Scorpio
child.
all over the place.
All over.
And so, I subconsciously and perhaps consciously too, like I don't mind dwelling in darkness. Um, I find I find darkness comforting,
Mm-hmm.
and grief is a part of that darkness for me. I know that like I have to be careful in not dwelling in it too long
Right.
because then, I can drown in it
Right.
sometimes, which I've gotten better over the years. The 20s was the rough time for me.
Okay, not the teens, the 20s.
The 20s, child. And I'm 31 now, which I still consider myself very young.
You are very
Um,
young.
but thank you, girl.
Yes, ma'am.
But I don't know. I feel like now I'm in a point where I've learned how to steer the grief,
Mm.
how to navigate through it in a way that's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
For me, whereas before I would just lay in it and just let it fester, even in
Mm-hmm.
ways that I didn't even know I was doing. Like, I I consider myself like one of those like high functioning depressives, high
Mm-hmm.
functioning anxiety people. And so I think, I'm moving, I'm working, I'm doing the
Right.
thing. So like there's no nothing wrong here, but it's just like, girl, there's clearly 10,000 things wrong. But you because and I think that's just indicative of just like, Black womanhood in general, like our
Mm-hmm.
depression, our grief, our anxiety shows up differently,
Yeah,
um, because of like societal pressures and the
that's
things we have
right.
to do, like with our family and ourselves and children if we have them, and parents and everything like that. In addition to racism and jobs and education, like all this kind of shit
Mm-hmm.
is just like be swirling in our heads, and sometimes it's hard to recognize that, like, oh, grandma had anger management problems
Right.
because she was depressed as
Yep.
hell and
Yep.
couldn't process it the
Mm.
way that we're able to process it now.
That's right.
So yeah.
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 Yeah. It's so interesting because your work is so colorful and beautiful. You're the dream lady, but you're also the flower lady. Like you bring forward the vegetation.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you, speaking of vegetation, about the land.
Mm.
Because I know that you were raised on ancestral land. I think your family's been in the same place for like 7 generations.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just talk
Mm-hmm.
to me a little bit about the vegetation
Mm-hmm.
and that relationship?
So um my family, I come from a line of farmers. And so I'm very familiar with the work and the beauty and magic of land cultivation and using the land to grow what you need and and essentially like foster survival. And I saw that from jump, like growing up, like because my
Mm,
dad he kept me on that tractor, me and my brother, like we was we was riding, but also like seeing like my great uncles and my granddaddy, like all of that, they were farmers and they had land, and you can tell the passage of time and the passage of seasons by how things grow in the field in front of the house or behind the house or across,
Right.
like it's everywhere.
On the side
You
of the
can
house.
on the side of the house, you can tell when it's summertime, when the corn gets a certain height,
Mm.
or you know, when fall is coming, when the peanuts are like at their like peak growth and you're getting ready to turn them over. And it's just like there's this smell like okay, I'm about to throw some language out here. So like there's when you're growing peanuts, my dad is a cotton and peanut farmer. And I usually help him plant the peanuts and turn the peanuts. Turning just means that like, okay, so peanuts grow in the ground. Like they're called peanut, but they're not a nut. They're like a root vegetable. Well, not they're a root something.
Right. I think they're in the bean family, like a legume.
Yeah, they're like a bean.
Right.
Yeah, yes. They're like a legume. I was gonna say that, but I ain't want to be wrong. So I'll just go leave it alone. But I'm glad that you affirmed me.
That's right.
But like, so peanuts grow like they're bushy, they're low growing. So the peanuts grow in the ground in the root, and then the top is the green, pretty green that you'll like see. And so what happens is we get this like there's like this machine on the back of a tractor that digs the peanuts up from the ground and flips them over to the sunlight, right? And so when you do that, the peanuts have to sit in the sun and dry out for a certain amount of time. And then you come back through the field with a picker. So you'll like, there's different equipment that you hook up to the tractor. One turns the peanuts, one picks the peanuts and stuff. Okay. So, after the peanuts are dried in the field, after a couple of days, that's why you kind of got to know what the weather patterns are looking like and stuff. Because if it's about to rain, you can't dig no peanuts because the peanuts will be sitting wet in the field and then they may rot and stuff like that. So you got to do it when you're anticipating like a stretch of dryness. But when you go through and like dig the peanuts and flip them over, it's like very dusty. Like it's a lot of dust that comes, but there's like a peanut dust smell. That's like, for me, it's indicative of like late summer, early fall. And it's like the smells of the land hold so much memory, just as much memory for me as like the visual nature of it. And the fact that, I am in a very fortunate position to be able to like still be a part of family land, because there's so many Black families that have lost their property due to, large case due to systemic racism and the policies that have been enacted. But I don't know, knowing that I grew up on the same land that my mama and my daddy grew up on, that they parents grew up on, and it's like, I don't know. It's like sometimes you take it for granted when you're younger, of course. But I always recognize the importance of it. They always make sure to let me know that it is important, even if you don't understand the importance of it yet. Know that it's important, and then when you get older, you'll figure it out. And I spent a lot of time figuring it out. And then once like 2020 came and there was no other place for me to feel safe except that land, that's when it clicked for me. Wow. That's just like, yo, this isn't just like, for your livelihood. This isn't just paying for your education. This land keeps you safe when the world is on fire. This land is the only place where you feel comfortable breathing without a mask on. How can I show reverence to that in my work. And how has it already shown up in ways that I didn't even think about, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because the land was always present in some capacity, whether in my collage art or even in my writing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But after 2020, that's when I was like, oh, I have to show reverence. I have to show appreciation, like for real, like this is part of me, this
That's right.
land and the safety that it provided for me during the pandemic. Um, I don't know, coming to that realization, I feel like really just transformed the work that I do, and it
Mm.
brought some meaning and purpose to the work that
Mm.
I've been making.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was, just going back to like the astrology piece, like that was like right before your Saturn return.
Come on.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
my Saturn came in hot, boy.
look.
She came in on two wheels.
Right. Like you have really like understood that, like, I feel like the Saturn return is kind of like, are you ready to grow up? Because it's time. And it sounds like you really understood the assignment.
Yeah, because that was also around the same time that I made like a big life change. Um, because yeah, around that time, that's when I had quit my job, which I never thought of quitting a job, first
Mm,
of all,
right.
let alone like, um, just moving from one job to the next. Because I'll stay somewhere. Like I'm a creature of habit, so I'll stick around. But there was just like this innate push to this internal push to move somewhere else. I
Mm,
was being pushed in a different direction that I couldn't ignore anymore.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's also part of that like Saturn return thing. It's just like, girl, all right, it's time to grow up. So I know what you were doing, you're doing what you thought you was gonna be doing, but you actually need to be doing something else. And so that's
That's
when I quit
right.
my job and became a full-time creative, not by choice, but just by circumstance. Cause I was looking for other jobs, but the other
Were
jobs
you?
wasn't looking for me. They ain't want me. But you know who did want me? My clients. Like I kept getting
Yes.
artwork and like
Mm,
art projects and stuff. So I was just like, well, shit, I guess, I guess we're gonna be out here doing this
yes.
now, And that was
Wow.
shoot, I guess about 2, 3 years ago.
Mm.
And somehow I'm still over here.
Yes, you are doing it.
I'm doing it. I am.
Wow. I'm just like marinating in what you've said. What are some of the ways that you learned how to show reverence
Mm-hmm.
to the land? Like, how is that expression looking in your life right now?
Mm-hmm. Definitely it's shown up more in my artwork than it
Mm-hmm.
used to. I think, once I realized that the land is safety for me,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I started seeing more like Black rural representation in my work, Black farm
Mm-hmm.
life,
Mm-hmm.
um, Black land ownership. More people started finding me who are like in that business of of
Mm-hmm.
like Black land um, ownership and everything like that. Um, I think something that I'm starting to see now, especially like in my writing, because I have started writing again, which I
Mm-hmm.
took a hiatus. I take a couple of those. But recently I got into flash fiction and I've been giving myself permission to publish them online.
Yes.
And, those short stories all take place on and around land that looks similar to the land that I grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I also think that, now that spring is coming back, I get to be outside in the land
Yes.
more. The
Yes.
wintertime, I always get disconnected from it because I'm inside. I'm not going out there. I don't like the
Mm-mm.
cold. I don't like the
Mm-mm.
cold at all. And my therapist is always like, Nancey, just put on layers. Like you can go outside. And I'm like, I know, but it's like 12. It feels like it's 12 degrees. And I don't want to do it. So now that it's spring again, I feel like my relationship with land, with especially the land that I live on now, because you know, I grew up on farmland and now I still live on farmland, which
Yes,
I think is really cool.
it is.
But I was outside walking my dog today and it was just like sunny 75. And I just
Oh.
sat outside on I was walking her down I live on a dirt road. And like there's like these, like under the road, there's like these little, I don't know what they're called, tunnel things so water can flow or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like big concrete little
Okay.
tube things. And so I just sat on top of one of the concrete tube tunnel things and just like
Mm.
looked around and like the sun was shining and it was a breeze. And it just felt so good to just be out in there, out in the land again. So I
Mm-hmm.
think now that it's starting to become spring, I feel like I'm rediscovering my relationship with the land. And I do it
Mm-hmm.
every year.
Yeah.
Every year spring
Yeah.
comes around, I have to rediscover
That's
my like
right.
physical relationship with the land.
That's right. Yeah, but it's cyclical. It's like
Mm-hmm.
there's especially because like, you do your podcast in a season, you just came out of art show season. And so it's like, yeah, but things are cyclical. We don't do the
Mm-hmm.
same things in summer that we do in winter. We don't eat the same, we don't dress the same. So it sounds like you're really honoring the cycles both inside and outside of you.
Oh damn, I like how you put it that way because I was feeling kind of bad. I was like, God, Lee, I ain't set, set foot out here. Besides walking my dog, I walk her and then come right back inside because it's so cold. But like,
Right.
you're right. Like all these things do come in cycles. And the podcast season is usually like springtime when
Mhm.
it drops. Show season is always the end of winter, you
Wow.
know. So yeah, that's a good point. Thank you for reminding me about that.
Absolutely. Yes. And you've mentioned her a couple times. Can we talk about Olivia?
The grand dame, honestly, like the queen of my life. I love her.
She's gorgeous, first of all.
First of all, it's the eyes that got me.
Yes.
So her
Yes.
name, she's actually named from The Color Purple, the
Mm.
1984 version. I think
Mm-hmm.
the movie came out 84, 85,
Yeah,
80.
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you familiar with The Color Purple, the
Oh yes,
movie?
I read it in I read the book in like fourth grade, which was highly
Okay.
inappropriate. Side note.
Maybe just a little bit,
Maybe a
but
little
it's
too
fine.
early.
It's fine. It's fine. But the
Yes.
part in the scene when Celie was at the general store and she saw
Okay.
that the lady had her baby, and the lady was like walking around with Celie's baby in the
Okay.
store, and
Okay.
she was like, "What's the
Oh.
baby's name?" And the mama said the baby's name was Olivia because
Mm.
only someone old would have eyes like that.
Oh.
And when you look at Livy, she has lived many lives.
Mm.
She is an old soul, and I saw those eyes. Those
Mm.
eyes were the first thing I saw before I saw her.
Mm.
And I was like, I can't name her nothing else.
Mm.
I can't name her nothing else but Olivia.
Wow.
And the family story is that like she fell out the sky
That's
because
right.
yeah, she had it was like a really bad storm had blew through. I was staying in Girard at my parents' house. I was watching my little brother because they was on a cruise. And like I was supposed to be watching him for the week. And like the first night, a terrible, like severe thunderstorm came through, tornadoes was dropping around everywhere. It
Mm.
was crazy. And then like the next day, Livy was in the yard.
Mm.
And I was just like, whose man's is this? Like, whose dog? It was, I mean, she was scary looking. Like, she looked like a bat, too. I was just like, I don't know where this dog came from. But I pulled up into the yard and she just walked right up to me and was just like, hey, girl, like, what's for dinner? But she came into my life at a time when, like, we had just lost our family dog. We
Mm-hmm.
had to put him down. And his name was Thunder, the sweetest dog. The
Mm.
sweetest dog.
Mm.
And I swore off dogs and I was grieving. I was still grieving Thunder when Livy fell out the sky. And so the fact that she showed up after a thunderstorm,
Right.
I was like, I guess I got a dog. But like she found me, or I found her. We found each other
That's
in
right.
grief because she looked like she'd been through hell. And I was going through hell. And so we both, decided to navigate through hell together. And, we found our way out of it.
Oh my gosh. How long have y'all been together?
I got her in 2019. March.
Wow.
It's actually coming up on her gotcha day. I took her
Oh,
home on March 16th,
oh my gosh.
2019.
Oh,
And she was 2 years old and she was gonna be turning 3, according to the vet. The
right.
vet be looking at the teeth and they can determine the birthdays. That is so wild to me. So
I
wild.
don't
And I don't
know.
know.
I don't know. They told when we got Choo Choo, they were like, oh, he's at like 8. And everyone was like, he's like 3 or 4 max.
Yeah, right,
But,
right.
so I don't know. I don't know. But
I don't know. But she's aging a little bit now. So I'll go back and look at her like older pictures when I first got her. I'm just like, dang, she did kind of look like a little puppy, I guess. Because I look at her now and she's not a puppy, but she ain't old, but she got like the little salt and pepper on her chin.
okay.
And I can
Okay.
start to see like the discoloration like on her like face and her legs and stuff. So I know
Yeah.
if she gonna get gray, that's where it's gonna start being gray.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe she was that age when I got her, but she's seasoned now.
That's right. That's right. She's been around the block a few times.
She has quite a few times. Like I said, my dog has lived many lives, and I'm just, I'm the best life that she's lived.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you for sharing about her. Please give her pets from me
I
and all the
sure
listeners.
will. I love on her every day. Every night before
Oh,
bed, she'll curl up and she'll just let me touch her. She's
oh.
not too like snuggly like that. On occasion, she'll snuggle some, but
Okay.
she reminds me of a cat. Like she's like, "Hey, girl, you see me? I see you. All right, I'm gonna go over here."
That's right. Don't come too
And I
close.
love that for me because I need me I don't need a high maintenance dog. I don't.
I love it. I love it. Speaking of things falling out of the sky, I have this impression from reading the flash fiction that you write. I feel like sometimes and you tell me if I'm naming this correctly or if you're just like absolutely not, but I feel like you must have like downloads. Like maybe like things just like come to you, or maybe I don't know if you would use the word like the universe is like speaking through you, but that's how it looks on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Short answer. Yeah. Sometimes I wish I could say that I came up with this shit off the top of my head because that would be incredible. But I would be lying because I feel like sometimes like the stories that I write about have already been lived and I'm just telling them like the universe, they've been lived, the universe has absorbed them and then using me as a vessel to like share or reshare in some capacity. Though a lot of the stories that I tell and write about were inspired by lived experiences of other people in my life, or the stories that I'll hear people talk about, like the seedling, for example. I think that's the first short story I shared on my Instagram page. And the main character in the story, it's pronounced Miss Carrie, but how do you spell that, right? So I think it reads Carrie, Miss Carrie, but it's pronounced Carrie. And I remember my uncles talking about this older woman who they said used to scare them when they were real little because she walked everywhere and stuff like that, and so they thought she might have been like a witch or something like that. And from that, I'm just like, Miss Carey probably just be over here minding her business. She ain't no
Right.
witch. She's just walking around.
It's just a lady walking around.
Right. But the kids thought she was a witch. And just from that little tidbit, that's how like I created the character of Miss Carey for the seedling. It's just, it's this old woman. She's, she walks everywhere. She wears hand-me-down clothes. And she, tends to her plants and minds her business. And the kids think she's a witch. But
I'm like,
she just like
goals.
planting trees. Right, right. But I noticed that all of my writing, like there's always an elder involved somewhere. And whether it's the short stories, the soliloquies, that novel I've been writing forever, it's like there's an elder, usually a woman, an elder woman who has a very big impact on a younger woman's life in some capacity, which I think is very reflective of just like how all of the elder women have shown up in my life. But also like zooming out a little bit too, I've also been thinking about like how those same women who I consider elders, like grandmother figures, they were mother figures to my mama because she lost her mom at a young age. My grandma, her name's Thelma. We call her Bootsy, Grandma Bootsy. Grandma Bootsy died when I was 4, but I remember her very well because she used to babysit me all the time. But my mama was 20. No, she didn't die when I was 4. She died in 96. Oh yeah, I was 4.
Okay.
So yeah, my mama was like 24, 25 when my grandma died. So the women who became the elders in my life, the grandmother figures in my life, some of them were my actual grandmothers, some of them were aunties, elder cousins. They were the mother figures in her life. And so, I'm thinking now about how these women show up and be sources of mothering and grandmothering to these women who may have lost their mothers when they were young, to just they just slid right into that mothering role for my mama, and by default that grandmothering role for me. And so a lot of my stories are all, like just inspired by like that elder granddaughter or elder grandniece or great or second, third cousin, something. There's always like this elder that has a special relationship with a younger grandchild, or I don't know. It's just something about that like intergenerational transference of knowledge and relationship I find very interesting. And lately I've been like meditating on like my relationships with the elder men in my life, because they were also present too. And
right.
I feel like I've been not shutting them out or anything, but like I've been paying a lot more attention to my grandmamas than my granddaddies. And they like, hey girl, like it took 2 to get you here. Don't forget about us. So with that story that I wrote, that I published, The Grounding, a couple weeks ago, that was really my first kind of foray into exploring like an elder, like father figure and that relationship with a granddaughter and stuff, which was really cool to bear witness to, because it was inspired by my granddaddy Fox, who was my mom's dad. His real name is James, but everybody called him, the grandkids, we called him Fox, Granddaddy Fox. And I can remember I started writing that story back in December around the Negro solstice time. And I remember driving home from like the gym or something like that while I was contemplating that story, and a fox ran across the road. And
Mm,
so whenever a fox runs across the road, like I'm instantly thinking about my granddaddy. And I
mm-hmm,
feel like in that moment, because I usually take one way home, but I decided to take another way home just
mm.
because. And that's when I saw that fox.
Wow.
And as soon as I got home, I got to working on that short story and I
Mm,
finished it. And I feel like that was my granddaddy reminding me that, like, hey, like, I'm here too.
that's
And
right.
I loved you too.
Mm,
And I had an impact on your life too,
mm,
you know? And so, yeah, I feel like, I think he's proud of me, you
mm-hmm.
know? He don't show up often, but when he
Yeah.
do, it's like, okay, granddaddy, I see you. You know, thank
Mm-hmm.
you for that.
That's
Thank you
right.
for that.
That's
So
right.
yeah.
Yeah. That's very interesting. I feel like maybe collectively the grandfathers are wanting their flowers as well. I didn't have a fox experience or an animal experience.
Mm,
So my grandfather passed away like 15 years before I was born, like way, way, way before. So, Papa D, there was no way I would have known him. I just know the stories.
mm-hmm.
And so I always kind of say, like, oh, I didn't have a grandfather. It's always about grandmother, da da da. But
Mm-hmm.
my grandmother remarried. And even though I was a baby, I was at the wedding. Like, and so there was this, I don't know, I think I was in the shower and his name was Papa Neil. And they were together for, a few years before he passed.
Mm-hmm.
But Papa Neil came to me and I'm in the shower and I could see you did have a grandfather. I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, I don't remember him because I was very young, but like he's right. He was
Yeah.
there.
He was there. He
He was
was.
there. So
Exactly.
yeah, maybe like collectively we need to speak a little bit more on
Mm-hmm.
their presence.
But you know
Mm-hmm.
what it is, our grandmamas had a time with our granddaddies. And
Look,
sometimes that time wasn't always a good time.
come on.
And they would share those stories with us. And, we grow up and we start looking at our granddaddies real sideways.
That's right. That's right. It's hard to
So
separate.
yeah, it's hard to separate. And, sometimes I have to remind myself that, hey, Nancey, both things can be true.
That's right.
He can be a cool granddaddy who loved you dearly and everything, and he could be a shit partner, you
That's
know.
right. Yep.
And unfortunately, that's been the case for I won't say all grandfathers in my life, but many.
Right. But many.
Um,
Yeah.
but still, I don't think I think there can, both stories can coexist equally in my head,
Mm-hmm.
but also, remember to show reverence to them a little bit too. So
That's
I'm
right.
getting better with it. And I think the grounding, that short story was, my first little like, okay, granddaddy,
Mm-hmm.
you right. Y'all right. But it was good. It's one of my favorites.
Yes, I haven't read it yet. I have it saved on my Instagram
Mm,
because I'm like, you know, because again, I feel like your art is a portal. So I don't want to be like just
mm.
reading it on the toilet in the morning. I want like not to be crass, but like, it's like it's like reading a good book. Even though it's a short
Mm.
story, it's like I want to, snuggle into my couch and I want to have my tea and I want to
Oh
be able to
my
like be
gosh.
present.
You be creating an
I
experience.
do. I really do.
Damn, I ain't
It's
know that.
yes, yes, because like I mean, we were talking before about like social media. You just kind of get in the zone.
That's
Hours go
true.
by, and you're just like, "What have I consumed?" Um, but then there's just certain people who like, yeah, their art is a portal, and it takes you somewhere else. And so I really want to
Mhm.
like be present with that, and not be just like haphazard with it. I want to be really
Damn.
intentional.
I thank you. And I appreciate that because, yeah, this is weird for me to say it out loud. And I don't know why it feels weird because it's true, but my art is a portal.
That's right.
And, writing for me has always been a means of like traveling somewhere else.
Mm,
And generally, it's spaces of nostalgia.
mm-hmm.
Um, like being 12 years old and having a birthday party, or going to the river and looking in and seeing your reflection, or
Mm,
sitting down and listening to stories about, like, days gone by, or reliving those stories that you might have lived.
yeah.
It's like damn, for all intents and purposes, it's kind of part of my grieving process, you know?
Right.
It's like,
Right.
you're never going to live those experiences again with the same people at the same time in the same body.
Yeah.
But with the stories that I tell, it gives me an opportunity to do that, even if it's just in my head. And I think that's one of the main reasons I do it so much. It's like I get to relive old lives, relive past lives, I guess. I miss my grandparents.
I hear you. I hear
I
you.
miss all of them.
Yep.
Even the ones I ain't come from. Like, I miss them
Yep.
too.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
It's like sometimes, they may not show up in dreams like I wish they would. Because, when they show up in dreams, it's like, oh, yeah, grandma came to see me.
Right.
Such and such came to see me. But it's like, how do you know if someone came to see you if they don't show up the way that you expect them to or hope that they would? It's just like, do they think about me?
Right. Yeah.
But then I'll like look at my art and I'm like, oh hell, there they go.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Oh, like, oh, Grandma Boosie been here this whole time.
This whole time. Ain't never left.
Never left.
Never left.
But yeah, I think about all of them. And I'll be wondering what they be doing sometime, what they think about what I'm doing. If they, if they be reading my stories and just like, girl, that's a lie. That ain't what happened. Because they would, not all of them was soft spoken.
Right. No. No.
Yeah. Child. Yeah. I miss them a lot. And I only got 2 left. I used to have so many.
Yeah.
And the 2 that I got left, they're Asian. And, growing up, I knew that a day would come where I wouldn't have any grandparents anymore.
Yeah.
But, the older that I get, the closer it gets to the day when, both of them are going to be gone. And it's just like, well, who do I turn to now?
Right.
Besides, like, memories and stories that I create in my head about them and about their lives to keep them alive somehow.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing so deeply. I just want to climb through the screen and hug with you. Just hug it out. Yeah.
Oh, child,
what you said just really resonates. Yeah. I mean, this might be a little silly, but I'm just gonna hug you.
Oh, thank you. We got the virtual hug.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. No, I so feel you. Like, I know I talk about my grandmother a lot and my parents, but it's like, yeah, I miss them. It's like I don't want to be 7 years old again. Absolutely not. But
no.
like I just miss having them here. I miss touching them. I miss their skin. I miss holding hands and like seeing the wrinkles on their face. Like I miss it so much. Like sometimes I have to like try to bring forward the photo in my head. It's like there's no photo that's close enough to my grandmother's face for me to see the way I need to see her. It's like I need to see like tiniest details, and I want to rub her head and brush her hair for her and take her bra off for her.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, she wore girdles like well into her 90s.
Not girdles,
Girl,
child.
that Victorian mess. And so she'd have, these bras with like, 15 hooks.
Craig, that you
that
be
she
there all day unhooking that
all
bra.
day. Yes, and I would love it. I'd unhook them and her back was just covered in moles. And this like I mean this might be a weird thought, but I'm like, does anyone in my family have moles like my grandmother?
Yeah.
Because like her back was just covered in moles. It's like, oh, am I gonna live long enough to have a back
A
covered
back
in
covered in
moles?
moles.
Right.
That reminds me of my grandma, the one who's still living. Because she used to always wear wigs. And even when I would come over to her house, she'll run and put a wig on real quick before she
Really?
comes to meet me. And I'm like, Grandma, it's just me. Like, you don't have to cover your hair, and the wig be sitting off to the side. Sometimes it don't even be straight. You could tell she just threw it on like a hat. So I never saw her natural hair well into my adulthood. And it wasn't until because I had locks before this. I had locks for 10 years. And before my locks, I had permed hair. So I didn't know what my natural hair looked like. And I didn't know whose hair it, reminded people of. And then when my grandma started getting older and didn't have the wherewithal to throw a wig on no more, like I started looking at her hair. And then I started looking at my hair. I started letting my hair grow out, and I'll look at it and I'm just like, I know you fucking lying. Like I got Essie hair. Y'all telling me I had Essie hair this whole time
The
and I
whole
ain't know.
time.
I ain't know. Cause like I would look at my mama hair and my sister hair and like daddy hair. And I'm just like, it's not giving. Like my hair, surely it don't come out of thin air. But I look at Essie's hair and I'm like, dang, like, and it, it's curly, it's thick, it's gray. I'm like, there's gonna be a time when, like, hopefully, I live to see my hair be curly and thick and gray, and it's gonna look like hers.
That's right.
It's gonna look like Essie hair. And what kind of experience is that's gonna be when I look in the mirror one day and see Essie's hair growing out of my head,
And you might even see her face in you too.
Cause child, I know it's coming. I'm working on a self-portrait right now that I'm thinking about maybe, finding a picture of her face if I can. Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about this, and I won't go into too much detail about it, but my grandma's memory has faded pretty much now. I think I'm sure it's dementia. I don't think it's Alzheimer's, but she's clearly not the woman she was. But she has her, her wits about herself. But for all intents and purposes, it's like she here, but she already gone. And it's like, what a fucked up way to experience my last grandma. Because I had so many and I revere them, and they died with their right state of mind, whatever right is, I guess. And it's just like, how cruel is it that to experience not to make this about me, because it's like she's experiencing
but
the
it's
dementia.
a very grieful process, to see someone transform into someone who, I mean, the person with dementia often doesn't recognize people, but the loved ones don't recognize her either. Yeah.
And it's just like, she stopped knowing who I was a long time ago. And I'm her, I'm her first one.
Mm.
And now I'm just, the nice lady who comes and holds her hand and talk to her from time to time and calls her grandma for some reason.
Yeah.
So it's like, she's here,
Mm-hmm.
but she's not.
Yeah.
And it just, it feels like such a cruel joke.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since like she was a woman who always had had something to say about how important it is to have peace of mind.
Mm.
How you always want to have peace of mind, peace in your own home.
Mm.
Never lose yourself, never lose your mind. And now mine gone.
Mm-hmm. Mm. I'm sorry. It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Thank
I'm
you.
processing it, but I'm
Yeah.
not, but I am, but I ain't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You'll probably be processing for a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah. Yeah. Thank goodness you have art.
Thank goodness for art, child, because I don't know what I'd be doing,
Mm-hmm.
how I would be processing all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And, thank goodness for conversations like
Mm.
this, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's very therapeutic
Mm.
to get it out. Because, I mean, I
Yes.
journal, I make art, I tell short
Yeah.
stories and shit.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like, that's not enough to really process the grief that I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
And as someone who, on the outside, everybody sees me, showing all, reverence for my ancestors and my, land and
Mm-hmm.
family and grandmothers and everything like that. Internally, I still have a grandmother, but I don't. And how do I navigate that?
Right.
I don't know how to navigate it.
Mm-mm.
I'm not sure if there is a recipe for it.
Mm-mm.
You just kind of go, help out, come home, work,
Mm-hmm.
go, help out, sit with her,
Mm-hmm.
feed her,
Yeah.
talk to her for a little bit, let her sleep, come home, work, process,
Mm.
and just, I don't know if I'm doing it right.
Mm. Yeah, I don't think that there is a right.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
maybe
don't
there's
think that
not.
there is. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It's not a recipe. It's like I call it make do. When you
Mm.
don't know what you're gonna eat, and so you just look
You
in the
just make
fridge,
do.
you just make do. It's like whatever's there, that's what I'm eating.
We're gonna put it together, child.
You just make do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm
sounds like
making
you're
do.
making do. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
Good do. I mean, I got some seasonings, some salt
That's
and
right.
pepper, some,
That's right.
some Creole, some, a little garlic.
That's right. That's right.
I don't make seasonless do, okay? My do ain't
Okay.
seasoned with water. My do got some actual flavor to
That's right. That's right.
it. Child. The hell.
Oh.
I love being black.
Look, seasoning. You got to have your seasonings.
You
I
got to
love it.
have it.
Oh, goodness gracious. I'm not going to take a
Oh,
turn down that road because I may
girl.
not be able to publish that.
We gonna behave.
That's right. We gotta
Woo.
behave. Well, look, Nancy, speaking of food, and I'm drinking some warm water with honey right now. What's
Mm.
nourishing you right now? What nourishes your body and
Girl,
soul? Tell me.
I found some grapes at the store yesterday. First of
Mm.
all, they already gone, and I just bought them yesterday. But they're like, I don't know what they call. I need to pull the bag out the trash can and read it, but it's like they're big, sweet, crunchy, green grapes. I haven't liked green grapes because they're sour, and I don't like sour grapes. I like sweet grapes. So I usually eat the red variety.
Same.
But I don't know what kind of genetic engineering they've been doing selective breeding with these grapes. Listen, I'll eat some genetically engineered food. I don't care. I don't care. I know, people have their issues with it and it's fine, and I get that. But these grapes were delicious. These were some of the best damn grapes I've ever had in my life. And I was eating them like an apple, girl. They were huge. And no seeds.
Oh my God. Okay.
No seeds. So I'm sure they did like some crossbreeding with like some Q-tips and some pollen and stuff like that.
Right.
But I am nourishing myself with grapes. And the summer is coming up, which means watermelon season.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And girl, my favorite fruit. My favorite fruit is watermelon. And so I like hydrating fruits.
Yes, that's right. Juicy.
Oh, girl, like this, just let it. Yeah. The juicier, the better.
Yes.
Honestly. So lately I've been nourishing myself with grapes, but I also found myself falling back into the Great British Baking Show on Netflix.
Oh, yes.
Such fantastic entertainment.
So good.
And the food looks so delicious. Even the bad food.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? It's probably good flavor.
That's right.
That's all.
They seasoned it.
They seasoned it. Don't play with me. So, girl, that's how I've been nourishing myself lately, especially now that like show season is wrapping up and, I have a chance to focus on the podcast and just figure out next steps in my creative journey. I'm like, okay, how, let me make sure that I care for myself in this time, because it's easy to just, once you hit a slowdown, it's like, oh Lord, nothing else is coming. What do I do with my life? Bills are due. How am I, But it's like every time I go through that, when, busy season comes again, I'm like, dang, I should have really enjoyed my slow season.
My off time. That's right.
Yeah.
It's okay to be slow as well. It's, going back to that cycle.
Yeah. Things come in cycles.
That's right.
They do.
That's right.
Yeah. How are you nourishing yourself?
Oh, not as well as I should be, to be honest.
That's
It's a busy season here, and like I'm eating way more processed foods than I would normally, and like candy. And I'm not against candy, but I'm like, just being honest, it's overboard right now.
That's
it's really overboard. So, because it's just like it's interesting, because even when I try to cook, like my food is subpar, like it's not coming out right. Like my mind is not in it, because I'm thinking about all these other things that I got going on. And so I'm really like, water with honey right, like no tea, just honey to sweeten and soothe the throat, calm it down. I could be doing a better job for sure. Thank you for asking. Thank you for the reminder. Look, I was about to say. Well, and even on the GMO tip, like there's a lot of things that are GMO that we don't even realize.
We don't even think about, like corn.
Brussels sprouts.
Apples.
Remember how Brussels sprouts was nasty back in the day?
Yes, they had a whole comeback.
Those things are delicious. Comeback, but it's because of genetic engineering. So
Hey, and genetic engineering ain't got to be no lab shit. You can just go outside and just cross-pollinate. And that's genetic engineering.
And that's what people have been doing forever.
Millennia.
I have a random question to ask you. What's your relationship with peanuts? Do you like peanuts?
I love some peanuts.
Okay. I didn't know if you were sick of them.
Boiled peanuts, girl.
Really?
Have you ever had them?
I have, and they were not for me at the time.
I hear you.
But I'm willing to try again.
Girl, where you had them from? Because it depends. Because everybody can't make.
Right.
You hadn't had a Georgia peanut.
No, ma'am. I
That's
have
the
not had a
problem.
Georgia, but that's the problem.
That's the
Exactly. I
problem. You
gotta
need a
come and
Georgia
get some
peanut.
peanuts. That's
Girl, if I'm ever in Oakland, I'm gonna boil you
Look,
some peanuts.
yes, please.
Yes,
Yes,
because it's a
please.
technique.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I like boiled peanuts. Those are probably my favorite
Okay.
brand, not brand, favorite what are words? Way to eat a
Style.
peanut, style of
Yeah.
peanut. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But
Preparation, I
lately,
guess. Mm-hmm.
I've been like, I'll get like a scoop of peanut butter and
Mm.
and just eat it off the spoon.
Yes.
Girl, like it do something
Yes.
to me. It
Oh my
does.
gosh. So my family nickname is peanut butter.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is.
I love that. I wish I had a nickname. My
Aw.
family didn't give me no nickname, but it's because like I'm named after my two of my great grandmothers. And
Okay.
so like the family is just like, you are Nancy. You ain't
That's
nothing
right.
else. You are carrying the Nancy name. So you're gonna have to just be this old lady name.
Look.
For your life. But peanut butter is so cute. My mama's nickname was Mustard.
Oh my God. Oh, I love mustard too. I'm a mustard fan up in here. I love mustard.
Girl, I wasn't a fan of mustard until I got older. Now I do
Okay.
enjoy it on a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, look, now I'm getting hungry.
Listen, and it's damn near 11 o'clock over here. So like I don't
I'm
need to
about to
eat
say,
nothing,
no,
but
ma'am. Mm-mm. We could talk about it.
mm-hmm.
Well, Nancey, I just want to thank you so much for sharing so intimately and generously. I always delight in our conversations, and this is no
Mm-hmm.
different. Absolutely no different.
Oh yeah, no, this was a joy. I forgot we was recording, honestly. So I was just, I feel like we just been over here talking.
Look, to the listener, this is what we do.
This is what we do.
This is what we do. We hop on Zoom and we just, talk about our feelings for a couple hours. We laugh, we cry.
Yeah.
So, this is really just a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
And you came with your, a few of your questions and stuff to keep the conversation moving
That's
along.
right.
But
That's right.
we did just kind of go like move and flow, which I appreciate. It didn't feel
Yes.
stale or forced or formulaic or anything at all. It just
Yeah.
felt like I was talking to you any other time.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
And I appreciate you having me on. This was great.
Oh, like we said, like it was like the minute Julia introduced us, it was like, oh, okay,
It was
like we're gonna work
instant.
together at some point, like it's gonna
Yes.
happen. And so I'm so glad that this season has finally come around for us.
Yeah, me too. This was a great, child. I mean, it feel like
Yes.
we just hit it off instantly. Like just
Instantly.
it was, yeah. It was
Yes.
great. I love when that happens. It don't
I
happen often,
know.
but I
It
love that
does
it happened
not.
with you.
Yes. I'm gonna make my way to Georgia one day. Mark my
Girl,
word. It's
listen,
gonna
I'll
be
be
one
right here
day.
because I'm
That's
not
right.
leaving. I love Georgia. I'm having a great time over here.
Oh, I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah. California. Ooh, there's a lot going on out here. Lordy.
I
Anywho.
heard.
Anywho. So I want to just ask you the question that I ask everyone at the end.
Okay.
I always kind of reword it every time. So let me see if I can call it forward. Knowing that we carry love and grief, together, they're the same, right? They're just two sides of different sides of the same coin. How are you, and I feel like we already know the answer to this, but like how do you carry it? How do you process your love and your grief?
Well, I know it comes out in my art,
Mm-hmm.
both my visual art and my written art.
Mm-hmm.
I think talking about it helps. Talking about it with people who have the capacity to listen helps. So there's a difference. Everybody ain't got the capacity.
That's right.
Which I understand. As someone, like I mentioned, at the beginning of our conversation, I'm not afraid to sit in it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you got to sit in it.
That's right.
And let it, let it drive you around for a little bit. I find that when I let myself sit in it, it doesn't hurt as long as it does when I try to ignore it. Which is so crazy that I still kind of do sometimes, because it's just like, girl,
Right?
You have the answers. But yeah, I think, seeing the darkness and the happiness, the light and dark, knowing that they can coexist, both things can be true at the same time, sort of
That's right.
mentality. It's just like, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be sad, and I know that this sadness won't last always, but it's essential for me to be in it so that
Mm-hmm.
I can process it in a way that's more, that's healthy. Which it may come out as a collage, it may come out as a story on the podcast, it may come out as a short story or something, but it always comes out eventually. It don't stay in for long. So yeah, that's my answer.
There we go. Nancey B. Price, thank you so very much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening. And now, here's a little advice from my grandmother.
Life isn't easy. You just have to make the best of it.